Hello everyone, welcome to episode 178 of Floating Through Film. This week we are doing, I guess this episode came about from last week's episode.
Honestly, I don't even remember how
Or was
2
it
weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, basically.
When we were talking about opening scenes. Our number one movie ended up being Rear Window.
I remember, you mean just like
Or
the
our
last
consensus pick,
Yeah.
basically. For opening scene was Rear Window, which then led us to like, oh, that'd be actually a good movie to do.
Yeah.
But then we had to pick another movie to pair with. And then we were like, oh, there's a lot of Rear Window knockoffs. And we ended up, because Luke had heard of this movie, we arrived at The Voyeurs 2021.
Yeah,
Because Luke's a huge Sydney Sweeney fan. For the right reasons, though.
For the right.
For acting.
she's
But,
really good in Anyone But You.
Wait, let me introduce my co-host here first, Blake.
What's up?
And Luke.
Hello.
And I'm Danny. And, we're doing Rear Window, and then we're doing The Voyeurs. I don't know, you guys have any overall thoughts on... Do these movies actually match up well?
I mean...
I don't know, you go first.
well, I mean, like, Rear Window's... It's definitely, like... Obviously, like, Rear Window's a lot more, like, classical, I feel like. And then Voyeurs is kind of just a bit more, like, off-the-wall, kind of insane. Like, it's a lot more... Maybe just Rear Window's a lot more... It's clearly that one of these is old Hollywood and one's, you know, fucking whatever modern cinema, like, streaming cinema is. Like, in terms of, like, just some of the lengths it goes. Maybe just, like, the erotic nature of Voyeurs compared to Rear Window. But yeah, no, I mean, I do really like this kind of, like this voyeuristic aspect, I feel like, or genre, you could say, that both these films fall in, because, like, it makes for some interesting things, because in a way, like, cinema is the same way. We're kind of looking into other people's lives, which I think Rear Window's definitely commenting on.
Oh, definitely.
Voyeurs, I don't even fucking know, but, like, but yeah, it's like we oftentimes kind of, like, look at all these. We look when we're watching a movie. We're watching other people's lives unfold. We see, like, some, like, intimate moments that, you know, you wouldn't necessarily see otherwise. And I mean, in a way, like, it's just like you can't really do anything about it. You can't intervene.
Yes. 100%.
And so Rear Window does a good job, not just with the murder plot, but all the other different kind of, like, storylines that you kind of make assumptions about at the beginning, and then the movie kind of comes back around and, like, in a way that it's all these, like, little movies, you could say, and that kind of, like, resolve themselves and kind of have endings as well alongside the kind of, like, main, like, murder case thing. Yeah, Rear Window's incredible. Holy shit. And Voyeurs is just, like, insane. But yeah.
Anything come to mind?
Yeah, no, Rear Window's amazing, obviously, like Luke said. Voyeurs, if it was 30 minutes shorter, if it ended 30 minutes earlier, it would have actually been decent, but it goes on way too fucking long after the scene that we'll get to later.
Well, maybe we'll just start with Rear Window.
Well, yeah, we'll start with Rear Window, but a lot of it kind of, like, a lot of my dislike of Voyeurs definitely comes from liking Rear Window a lot more. But
we talked about the double feature problem last week.
Yeah. But no, I do like Rear Window a lot, because it is obviously, like Luke said, just basically kind of how people just watch movies, how he's watching these other people's lives, and we're doing it in a movie, obviously. And it's layers upon layers, but it's also just a joy watching Alfred Hitchcock in this time period. Also, like, I do love 60s Hitchcock. Like this era of Hitchcock is, like, it probably is. I mean, most people probably say it's his best, and I would probably agree. But
is this his best movie?
One of them. It's up there, dude.
Some days, yeah, for me.
Vertigo's up there.
Like, Vertigo is definitely just, like, a giant as well. Like, that's, like, hard to deny. But, like, they're both incredible.
No, yeah.
Let's not pit two kings against each other.
Oh, Vertigo and Rear Window. Yeah.
Well, I mean, North by Northwest is amazing too.
I mean, it's good. It's really good. It's really good, but not as good as those two.
Oh, he's got some other great. Like Rope is really great too.
Rope is amazing.
No, I read after I watched this. I read a article Hitchcock wrote in 1968. So what year was this?
1954.
Okay, so 14 years later. And then I read a Truffaut article like he wrote like basically right after the movie came out on Rear Window. But first, because Hitchcock said this was his favorite movie he made, or he said this is, to me, the most cinematic movie. Let me read the quote. He said, "To me, this is the most cinematic. I'm a purist so far as the cinema is concerned. You may see many films that are what I call photographs of people talking. This film has as its basic structure the purely visual. The story is told only in visual terms. It's composed largely of Mr. Stewart as a character in one position in one room looking out onto his courtyard. So what he sees is a mental process blown up in his mind from the purely visual. It represents for me the purest form of cinema, which is called montage. That is, pieces of film put together to make an idea." So first you can tell like he's like really proud of this movie. Basically like, taking this concept of looking and like making a whole film just like literally from a guy from one room doing it.
Because I mean, does the film ever go outside the room? Basically, I mean, except
basically no. Like it's basically all told from his perspective. From his like that's where that really helplessness comes in with the crippledness. Yeah. Like just like the added like level.
Yeah, he's trapped basically. Yeah.
And I was gonna read some, but first I was gonna read this. Truffaut ends his article with he says, "Let me suggest a parable," talking about Rear Window to describe it. He says, "The courtyard is the world. The photographer is the filmmaker. The binoculars stand for the camera and its lenses. And Hitchcock, he is the man we love to be hated by." And I kind of love that because it's like, he basically, if you, and I'm going to read this quote from him in a second, but if you see the audience as like us, like we're supposed to be Jimmy Stewart, right? Like we're the helpless audience, is that there's like or like peeping toms that are watching other people's intimate lives, but we can't do anything. Like literally Jimmy Stewart. I love that last line where he's like, then Hitchcock is like the one who's basically like, we like being put in that position. Like that's like the kind of weirdness of movies, you know, where we like to be that kind of helpless person that's under a guise of like a director, you know, who's like almost like enjoying the cruelty. Yeah. And the reason I use that word cruelty specifically is because it's kind of funny. Like, I don't know, let me ask you this: do you guys think these are bad characters?
Yeah, somewhat.
Because it's like that character is kind of mean. Like,
which one?
Wait, you're talking like Jimmy Stewart?
Yeah, Jimmy Stewart, Grace Kelly, even
because like we do what Jimmy Stewart does all the time.
His nurse, I guess.
We do what Jimmy Stewart does all the time.
Exactly.
We look at other people's lives.
That's supposed to be us. So normally we're the good guys, right? In the movie.
But yeah, it's just like.
And we still get a happy ending, technically, or do we?
Yeah.
But I'm asking, do you guys think they're good people? Because I'm about to read this quote. I'll tell you what Hitchcock thinks.
I mean, I already said probably not.
Based on how I'm asking it, you're like, yeah, it's probably not. But,
well, no, it's just like, because like the Voyeurs is very similar, and I would definitely say in the Voyeurs, no, they're not good people. Like neither group of them, but
I agree. Except for that one has a problem of it's like, I still think it's trying to give us a little more of the Sydney Sweeney has her badass moment, like the character identification, versus like Jimmy Stewart in this one is like
so creepy.
He's like falling out of a building at the end of this one, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay, we'll get to the end of the Voyeur.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. No, but let me read this quote to stay on topic because it's so good too. He's like, if you want to be really mean towards the character in this film, you could call him a peeping Tom. I don't think it's necessarily a statement of morality because it's a statement of fact. You don't hide from it. There's no point in me leaving it out. When Grace Kelly says that they're a couple of fiendish ghouls because they're disappointed that a murder hasn't been committed, she's speaking the truth. They were a couple of ghouls. And I love that because he's like, first of all, he's like, the characters go out and say it, but like they're kind of saying, he's like, no, they're actually, he's right. Like they're right. But really he's talking about the spectator too, who like watches a movie waiting for a murder, you know, who gets disappointed that a murder doesn't happen, you know, or like watches a NASCAR race hoping for a crash or something, you know. It's like that aspect of our life, like being that we like watching that kind of, like we want something bad to happen, you know, almost. Like that's why P.B. Tom is looking, you know, in the first place. I guess especially in Hitchcock, like that's how he sees it. He's like very At least, especially in this movie, he's like a very negative worldview.
Yeah.
But then also, he was really proud of suspense, like the suspense aspect of this movie too. Because Deleuze also talks about that a lot. Like that was like a big aspect of basically what he like considers like Hitchcock was one of the first people to like involve the spectator directly into what's going on in the movie, you know. And the way you do that is by creating suspense, which Hitchcock says is you basically provide the audience with information the character doesn't have, you know. And so like in this movie, it's there's like, do you remember like it's like it's almost like it's kind of quick, but if you miss it, but like where Jimmy Stewart falls asleep during the one scene of the guy walking out, you know.
Yeah.
And he misses that, but we get that information, you know.
Yeah.
So like moments like that create like tension in the audience because now like we know something that the characters don't know. So there's almost like two separate things going on, you know. And that's what he means by like involving the audience directly in the film.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have to be directly related to that that information gap is like part of the film almost itself, you know. But he also, this article is actually really good. He also talks about like the MacGuffin, like his kind of theory on the MacGuffin. Like, let me read the story. He said it's really quick because he said the word MacGuffin comes from a story about two men in an English train, and one says to the other, "What's that package on the baggage rack over your head?" "Oh," he says, "that's a MacGuffin." The first one says, "Well, what's a MacGuffin?" And the other guy says, "It's an apparatus for trapping lions in the Scottish Highlands." So the other says, "But there are no lions in the Scottish Highlands." And he answers, "No, that's no MacGuffin." And basically what he's saying is like, this is a really easy way to put it, but he's like, basically a MacGuffin is something that the characters in the film care a lot about, but we don't care about that much. And so what do you think the MacGuffin in this movie is?
Wait, so say it again, sorry.
He says the MacGuffin is something the characters in the film care a lot about, like that's what they're going for or whatever, but the audience really doesn't care that much about it.
The murder.
It's like usually an object.
Oh, an object?
Yeah. Like
so that they care about, but
yes,
we don't.
Yes.
The wife's ring.
Exactly. That's exactly
The white what?
The wife's ring.
It's the ring.
Oh, okay, yeah, damn.
And he like makes this point where it has to be on purpose. Like he would think about this. Like it has to be something where the audience doesn't care about it. That's what a MacGuffin has to be. Like that's what it has to have that feeling.
Yeah.
And like but like in the ring in this one is a great example because like we almost like it doesn't matter that much to us, but like it's such a big deal to them too. And then Truffaut's review when he writes about it, he says this movie. What do you think that he says this idea? The whole movie revolves around one idea, which is like definitely there in the background of the movie, but like once you
idea.
What's their conversation about at the beginning of the movie?
Marriage?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Her being like, "I want to have babe, please."
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
and so that's why whenever you said the ending is like a happy ending, it's like, is it? Because she doesn't have
That's
a wedding
exactly
ring.
what I'm
So.
saying. And that's why the MacGuffin is literally what? A wedding ring too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like the way she gets the wedding ring is almost like through this fake way.
Yeah, imagine Grace Kelly wanting to have sex with you, and you're just
No,
like,
exactly.
I don't know. Wait,
no, but
hold
he's
on.
definitely that's a Hitchcock thing too. Of like he's definitely making fun of like moviegoers. Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh really? You guys want to come and watch this shit and stuff?
Yeah. He's cooking us, bro.
Yeah, no, he is. No, yeah, that's why Truffaut. Actually, Truffaut. This is what I said. I was gonna I told you before the podcast I was gonna bring up Hawks, because Truffaut in this. I might have even read this article before a long time ago because I like remember him like saying something like this. But he says there's basically two types of directors. There's those who keep the public in mind when they're making a movie, and those who don't think about the public at all when they're making a movie. And so he says that those that have the public in mind are Renoir, Clouseau, Hitchcock, and Hawks. And then he says those who don't consider the public at all are Bresson, Tati, Rossellini, and Nicholas Ray. And what he says, the former, the ones that consider the public, they make films that are the art of the spectacle. And then the later he calls individual adventures. More like personal movies, I guess you could say. And that's what he says, like, Hitchcock is like the art of the spectacle director, and that's where suspense comes a big play of it, you know.
Yeah.
He makes a lot of good points. Now, let me just read one quote that he says. He says, quote, "Rear Window is a film about indiscretion, about intimacy violated and taken by surprise at its most wretched moment. A film about the impossibility of happiness. about dirty linen that gets washed in the courtyard, a film about moral solitude, an extraordinary symphony of daily life and ruined dreams. I thought that was a great aspect too, because that's what Rear Window is like. Yes, there's like some story going on, but then it also gives you so many ideas of like what do you see when you just like look into other people's lives, you know, and like even the side stories become really interesting in their own little way, just little glimpses we get. Like Hitchcock, I didn't even read the quote, but Hitchcock in his article he points out like that, you know, that montage quote I read, why he considered it so powerful was like he even mentioned Pudovkin where he's like this film has such a powerful idea of montage where it's like you can show Jimmy Stewart, then you could show him like looking at, I forget what example he gave, like he could show him looking at like the old lady, and then you show back to him smiling, and you get one impression of him, right? But then you could show him again. This time you show him looking at the girl dancing, then show him smiling, and all of a sudden he's like a creep. You know, it's the same, just one shot.
The coolest shot of it.
Yes, exactly. And he's like, this film is like that at its best, you know, because like that's why he was so proud of it, because it's like all this storytelling done visually, you know. And also visually, but also through montage as well, you know, just the connection of the visual. But and then also I'll just read one quote from Deleuze too, because I also mentioned how Hitchcock was ideal. Deleuze thought about Hitchcock being the one who like involved the spectator while watching, right? And so he says, quote, "If one of Hitchcock's innovations was to implicate the spectator in the film, did not the characters themselves have to be capable, in more or less obvious manner, of being assimilated to spectators?" And that's like a short way of like talking about Deleuze's transition from the movement or action image to the time image, or whatever he calls Hitchcock, like the mental image or something like that. This idea of not only are we becoming spectators of the film, but also the characters now are also becoming spectators as well. They're losing power, you know. And I also brought this up on the neorealism episode with the characters in those movies. All of a sudden, like, just having to watch what's going on instead of having any control over, like, the situations in their lives. This is, like, a different example of that, you know? And, like, it's also, like, a very, like, Hollywood example of that, because it's, like, there's still dramatic moments and stuff, but instead of, like, the hero normally at the end of the day going and saving Grace Kelly, now he just, like, falls out of a building and he's, like, crippled and, like, he has to get saved by, like, cops.
He's saved by Grace Kelly.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, exactly. But even, and then he's, like, even, like, his solutions are putting her in trouble more and more at the end, you know? So this idea of, like, basically the idea of the people and the characters also becoming spectators with us in a way is interesting, too. But yeah, no, I really love this movie, as you can tell. It always gives me a lot to think about every time I watch it.
Yeah.
I think we can go ahead and get into it.
No, yeah.
We'll start with the opening shot.
Which I mentioned 2 weeks ago. We
all did, right? Wait, the opening shot?
Well, I was the one who brought it up.
Yeah, you were the one that brought it up.
Okay, that's true.
Thank you very much. You know.
I'll give you that. I don't even think I had it on my list. So.
Damn. I don't. You said you love this movie a lot too. Like, didn't even think about it. Damn. No, but yeah, like, but it kind of really. This is a very great example of what you said earlier about like how much of this movie is done, like how much of the storytelling is done visually.
Yes.
Because there's no like dialogue, there's no narration at all. It's just like him moving the camera around, showing you like things visually to like kind of set.
Also, we pointed that out with Rivette a lot, but obviously they were learning from these masters. Is he repeats the same opening shot multiple times to kind of give us like this kind of like we're coming back to a new scene, a night. It's either like at night, it's either day or night, basically how he like basically ends the scene, you know. But like the same kind of like pan across the houses and stuff, and then it'll come back around to him, either sleeping or like looking out.
And then the cast with the "Here lie the broken bones of L.B. Jeffries."
On his cast.
And then you see like the broken camera, and then like the pictures of like the crash coming towards his camera. Like you see basically you get the idea, pretty much. And then like I think it's like a Times magazine or something of like of Grace Kelly, I think. It's something like some like magazine cover basically like. And it's like damn, it's just like kind of
all this is interesting. His like
this is his world, I guess.
Yeah, his world. No, but I like some of the other shots too, like the different. This is where we see the other people, like the dancer and the. I forget what else we see.
We see the dancer. We see the lady at the
lady
bottom.
with the green.
Yeah.
I mentioned green too. It's important because Hitchcock mentioned that in his article as well. It's like the way he uses colors. Like basically, she's the only one in the whole movie that wears green.
She is, yeah.
Because he was thinking about the one shot of her when she walks across like under like a
into the bar.
Yeah, into the bar. He wants her to be really recognizable. Like, oh, that's Lady in Green. So basically, you can't have any green throughout the rest of the movie because it's like for that one shot. And that's how he was thinking about color and stuff. But it's just like it's true. Like she's like I can't think of like when I think of her, I think of green. You know. But yeah.
Whenever I think of her, I think of sad. I just
Miss Lonely. Her name's Miss Lonely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they call her.
Yeah.
Miss Lonely Hearts. No, but yeah, we also see like I think do we see the wedding?
I think we see the couple come in for the first time. Yeah. I think, right?
Yes.
I think that's in this opening scene.
Yeah.
And then we see Lars and his wife as well.
Oh yes,
the main two, obviously.
Yes, the main two. Then we do also see the dog.
The dog, yes.
Well.
Yeah.
Like basically, like if you've seen the movie, you'll know it's some of these things.
Yeah. Well, I remember where all of them are based on where they are in the buildings. That's why I said Lady on the Bomb. Right. That's where she is in the movie.
Actually, I will say though, like all of it's presented so casually though.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of these shots that aren't actually important to the plot of the movie.
Oh, definitely.
You know, like it's not like the dancer ever becomes important. Or the piano player outside of like the lady coming to him at the end, or the wedding couple outside of like him, like just Jimmy Stewart's thoughts while he looks at him. But like in a lot of like even in the Voyeur that we're gonna come up to, like basically every shot ends up being really important to like some plot mechanic in the movie. You know, versus this one, there's like a lot of just stuff you're taking in just because it's like it's like more.
It's more casual.
Yeah, it's like also you can get other stuff from it. Like it's more of that voyeuristic gaze.
Yeah,
it
is. Yeah, because the Voyeurs is like they're in a high rise. They're gazing in on this one fucking couple this entire time. How many like are they the only couple with open windows?
Well, and then also it's like actually like the couple like
okay,
it was
we can't start.
It was like an intentional
we can't start
thing.
thinking about it too much because it's like definitely.
I mean, it's kind of like it's just like it's.
I mean, you can say that about this one too. At least these ones like the apartments are way closer and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but yeah, then it goes to the night. Like this is what I'm saying. At night, it does the same camera pan at night around the same building, and it ends on him. Like this is the shot, like the amazing shot of Grace Kelly like approaching him. Like this. The first shot is like him, the daylight, the intro shot where it comes on him and he's like looking out the window. This time the camera does the same pan. You think it's gonna end on him, and it actually cuts to her.
Okay. Yeah, even then before that, the orange of like the skyline, like with the orange, is like incredible. Yeah. I just have to say that. Like so the red kind of like lights in this movie are like so good.
That's what I'm saying. Like every color.
I mean, obviously, like
the white she's wearing throughout and stuff.
And then like obviously the cigarette light towards the end is like all time.
That's cigar.
I mean, Truffaut gives an exclamation point when he talks about it.
Yeah, bro, that's like Kiyoshi Kurosawa would definitely reference that in Cure.
That's like
because there's a very famous shot in Cure, or I don't know if it's famous, but it's one of the shots I remember the best, where it's just like the killer sitting in the dark, and it's just like him smoking.
Criterion cover, maybe.
No. That's just the lighter.
Oh, that's the lighter.
In the guy's eye, which that's
like one of the best shots like of all time. Honestly,
damn,
like goddamn,
so good.
He was in his bag, bro.
No,
yeah, and then they like have like the
they have their conversation.
She wants to get married. He's
is Grace Kelly never wearing green in this movie? She wears green.
At least according to Hitchcock, no.
Really?
Maybe at the beginning she does.
I thought that she wore a green dress the first scene that we saw her.
Huh? No, she wears the black and white one.
Does she not wear green at any point in this movie?
We'll see if she does, but I don't think she does.
Are you thinking of Vertigo? Are you confusing this with Vertigo?
No. I mean, she definitely wears one in Vertigo for sure.
Yeah.
But
it's not the same girl. We should.
No, that's definitely it's not.
But like, you might just be.
But she has that kind of glow he gives some of his actresses. Like she has that kind of.
She's beautiful.
Whatever glow, like he's.
I mean, yeah, it's Grace Kelly. Though.
She's got that Grace Kelly glow. Yes.
Yeah, they talk about. They also start looking out too, like because they talk about the girl who like has like 3 guys at her house.
I guess that's another thing about these two movies. Like it's like couples that kind of like bond over the voyeurism. Obviously, it gets a bit more kinky in Voyeurs, but although maybe like you could say. I don't know.
That's one reason why this movie's amazing, because you can say it gets kinky, because there are definitely moments where it definitely gets kinky.
Yeah, it feels like it, yeah.
But he's not allowed to show anything.
But it's way more, and it's like you actually have to read more into it.
Yeah, it's all innuendo.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's why it's like way more visual, like on that kind of level.
Yeah.
But I think
we see like the Lonely Heart girl doing the whole thing. Like she's like sitting down, like having dinner with nobody.
Oh, but yeah, that's what we
like the first scene, because that like comes back.
Yes.
Yeah. And then like the
no, it's also
the dancer girl.
It's a great it's amazing how much we think we know about her by the end of the movie. Literally just from these few scenes of like, oh, she.
No, I think he's making a point by doing that.
100%. Yeah. No, but it's like it feels like we like got her story almost too, like another movie almost.
No, that's what I was saying, like mini movie. Yeah. Like we also see like the dancer girl like has all those guys in their apartment, and then like they're trying to seduce her, but she's like kind of just very obviously rejecting them. Because obviously we know
Grace
now.
Kelly's like taking her side, or it's like
we obviously see she has her own short king.
She does.
That comes at the end of the movie.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's like this guy was kind of goofy. But
he is very goofy. But that's for.
But see, that's also true. Like this, just even that little shot, just like how one shot can change your whole perception of a person. Yeah. You know, like that's not who you thought she would be with. Yeah. And then one little shot is like, oh, that could change like how you see her the rest of the movie. Because like actually that's a really good point to bring up with this scene too. Because he's like, oh, look at her, she's like a queen bee with her pick of the drones. And then Grace Kelly's like, no, she's more like doing a woman's job. She's doing a woman's hardest job, juggling wolves. Which kind of makes more sense of like, no, she doesn't like any of these guys.
No,
you know?
Yeah. No, they're all like
actually, Grace, she says that too. She's like, she doesn't like any of them.
Yeah.
So it's like that's actually one reading she actually gets right. But,
yeah.
Actually, she's the one that gets more of it right. Like
she does.
The idea about the purse, like no woman's gonna leave her purse when they go.
No woman will leave her jewelry.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But then this one they also get into the fight too about marriage, and he's like such a dick though. It's crazy. He's like basically like can't understand why she want to get married, and him he's like, oh no, I can't. You want to be able to handle my job.
Yeah, like in the middle, it's like a.
And then of course right when she's leaving, like, wait, I'll see you tomorrow, though, right?
Yeah, like we're still cool, right?
He's like, why can't we just leave things status quo?
It's like, damn, bro.
No, but this is where he's like staying to watch, because I think he hears something he hears like something break.
Well, it rains.
But before that he hears a glass shatter.
Oh, okay.
And that's when he's like, oh, let me watch. And that's when he starts watching. Yeah. That's when it starts raining, and he falls asleep to the rain.
And then he sees him leaving his apartment.
He starts seeing the guy walk out multiple times. That's when he gets suspicious. But that's what I was saying, like the suspense builds, where it's like he falls asleep that one time. We get a shot of the guy leaving with a woman. Yeah. So we're like, oh, that's his wife that he's leaving with. You know, at least if you're watching for the first time. So like Jimmy Stewart missed that crucial information. So he's like basically gonna like base his whole theory on this like one shot image he missed. You know. Yeah. And that's basically what happens. Like, the next day, like he calls his I think he calls his friend.
Or is the nurse?
The nurse comes first. Yeah. This is where he's like looking at the guy. Because in my notes I said he's like judging him. He's like, oh, that's not ordinary look.
Yeah, like that. He's making all sorts of assumptions.
Basically, this is where it's like, he's starting to read everything he does now in terms of like what he knows. Yeah. You know, basically making him a spectator. Also, the great shot of him putting out the long lens of the camera.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Iconic. Yeah. Then I think we get tonight again.
We see like the dog getting raised up in the basket. I just like that.
Oh,
it's just a funny. Okay. I like.
Is that a night? Yeah. See, that's like if you're watching the first time, you don't know how significant that dog's gonna be. And stuff, you know?
Grace Kelly's like making out with him, and he's like doesn't give a fuck. She's like so into it, and he's like, but why would you leave?
No, he's like, I have a problem though.
Yeah, why would you leave in the middle of the night? Like Grace Kelly is like making out with him while he's singing. Like, bro, come on, like
read the room.
No, that's what's funny. It's like he's like literally reading like a plot description for a movie. You know.
Yeah.
Like, why would a man leave his apartment 3 times already night with a suitcase and come back 3 times? You know, it's like how they sold movies like on the trailers. Like, all these like old noir movies or something.
And then like he brings in rope, I think. He brings in like the.
Oh, that's when they see.
You see the guy
with rope. No, this is where he's like, yeah, because where she's on top, or that. You think by the time she's like across from him now, and he's like, just how would you start to cut up a human body? He's like, he's like, you're starting to scare me.
Like, why are you scaring the host? Bro?
Yeah. No, but it's like definitely like a spectator watching a movie. You know, like, okay, how would they do this? But then like but then this is when she basically gets invested too. I forgot what she sees, because then she goes and gets the binoculars. What does she see?
It's like him like it's him like he like puts the rope around this like luggage thing, right?
Okay. Why can't I remember what she says? I don't remember. But then she gets excited. It's like, oh, tell me everything you saw. From the beginning. No, she's like, tell me everything you saw and tell me what you think it means. Yeah. And that's where it's like, to me, is like, that's where like the spectator, you know, wants to know, like, it's basically what this podcast is too. You know, like, we're talking about really think what it means and stuff.
Yeah.
He's already making fun of us. No, but then the next day
he's like really invested.
Yeah. That's when he calls his police friend. Yeah. Well, also, I think the maid still comes to him again. But yeah, then the investigator comes. Yeah,
but like basically, like he's not like buying. The investigator guy is kind of not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
He's like the important part.
Yeah.
Of it.
We also see some shots of the dog digging near the garden too. Like,
okay, yeah.
Maybe like now that the murders happen, like the dog keeps going to the same spot again.
Yeah.
The investigator is basically just telling him to go touch grass.
Yeah, this is where the investigator's like,
you're getting too involved in this like made up plot. Like,
no, this is where the investigator. This is where Jimmy Stewart finds out about the information I mentioned about the wife leaving at 6 a.m. Because he's like, oh, we have reports of the wife left at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I feel a little foolish now. And you can tell Jimmy Stewart's disappointed. There's also this great shot, because like right after that happens, he's like, feel a little foolish, like basically like thinking the movie's over. And then like it's a shot of the investigator watching the dancer. Like she's just like dancing. Yeah. And it cuts back to him like smiling. Basically that shot I talked about earlier about the guy smiling. He's like smiling. And then it cuts to Jimmy Stewart. It's like, oh, so how's the wife?
It's like, how's your wife?
Yeah, how's your wife? She's like, oh, she's fine. But it's almost like this guy's like judging Jimmy Stewart. It's like, really, this is the movie you're focused on? It's fucking, you could be watching this. And it's like, you're watching this, like, you're making up this murder mystery. And then I guess there's like one brief description where apparently they're friends from the war too. He's like, how do we even manage to... Basically that one line gives us all the backstory we need of like how they're even friends, you know?
Yeah. I feel that happens a lot in like old Hollywood movies. Like honestly, that's kind of a trope. Like, the war friend that's like now like a police officer.
Well, they're loyal. Like they have totally different backgrounds now, or jobs now, but they're still loyal to each other because of their war history.
In A Lonely Place has the.
That's a good trope. It's like that's a good way to like.
There's other ones too. I just can't really think of it.
It's a trope I like. I guess. I
can get behind it. Yeah. Jimmy Stewart sees him going through like the purse, like his wife's purse or whatever, and like on the phone too while he's doing it.
Long distance.
Okay, she does wear green in this scene.
Yeah, this is where she goes.
Okay, I thought that she wore green because I was like, I definitely remember like she was beautiful in this scene. So
that's a crazy fit, honestly. Then he's like, they see him leaving, and then.
Does the investigator come at night again? I think he does.
He does.
Yeah.
Because Grace Kelly's there.
Oh, this is another visual kind of storytelling too, where he just sees her like her clothes on
the overnight pack.
Overnight pack.
Which that was a kind of funny joke too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's the other thing. Apparently, she's not supposed to stay. Like that's an issue with like the landlord. That's an actual issue back in the day. Like you gotta have someone that's not your wife, or like you have to let them know basically.
Yeah.
Some old time.
I mean, like, oh, careful, Lloyd, or whatever his name. No, but this is where you basically said this idea of like cinema being about entering private lives, where the investigator says that's a secret private world you're looking into out there. People do a lot of things in private they couldn't possibly explain in public.
Yeah.
And that's basically almost like the kind of intrigue of cinema, right? It's like that kind of intimacy we're like looking for of private lives. Of like something people wouldn't show publicly, that whole idea. But like the investigator says it's like a bad thing, and maybe Hitchcock is too. I don't know. But then like this is where like you said the landlord thing is important because he's like, why would he not tell his landlord? I forget what he says. He says the murderer didn't tell the landlord something.
He didn't tell the landlord.
About him moving or something? Oh yeah, that he was moving. Yes. And then he's like, oh, and he like looks at her stuff. Yeah. He's like, oh, do you tell your landlord everything? He's like, careful. But then I think the investigator leaves. Yeah. Yeah. And then we find out the dog died. We hear a scream. Yeah. And that's when the dog is found dead on the ground, strangled to death.
Then
and this is where you could say maybe the Hitchcock criticism is like the biggest criticism in the movie is where she's like yelling at them, and she's like, "What kind of you guys aren't neighbors? Neighbors like each other, speak to each other." Yeah. Basically everything the opposite of what Jimmy Stewart's been doing. Where just he's been watching from the distance and not doing anything. Yeah. Not talking to anyone. Like basically never tries to know anyone really. Yeah. Outside of like how we view people. As viewers,
it's a statement on society too.
Yeah, exactly. It's like basically this idea of like being a neighbor versus being a voyeur. Yeah. It's almost like she's like criticizing.
And then then the murderer guy is just aura farming.
He really is. He really is.
Because this is where this is what makes the movie like kind of better. Like it's like a great back to back because she just yells. She's like, "No, none of you even care. None of your neighbors." And then right after that, like we get the great shot of him smoking. Yeah. Cut to Jimmy Stewart, and he's like, he's the only one that didn't react. That means he's guilty. Like basically using everything as like basically ignores what she says and is like just focus on the movie still. Like like just keeping the movie.
He's like, I'm sorry, but like
we gotta keep up. We gotta find the murderer.
We gotta keep it going.
But it's like we have to find the murderer, but it's not because of her reason. Like because the dog was killed or something, or even because the wife is killed. Yeah. Like it's almost because he cares about the murder just because it's like exciting, like the same way a movie goer watches because the movie's exciting, not because they care about like the murder being solved. This is where that old lady's. I think the old lady's here too. The maid in the scene.
No, yeah, she like comes
because she's like
this one
she's talking about the blood in the bathtub, and she's like, I must have splattered a lot.
Damn, yeah.
And then like, oh, you could say it nicer, or like you could be more polite about it. And she's like, nobody ever invented a polite word for killing Joe, which I kind of like that line too.
Yeah. This is when he like basically sends them to do some field work.
Yes. And they send him a note. Actually, this is another Rear Window reference too, where they send him the note.
Yeah.
Because this is where they stick the note to him, and then she runs back.
Yeah.
And that's when they're like, he's getting all excited, like, you did it, Thorwald. I'm pretty sure they used the name Thorwald just to get Jimmy Stewart to say the name Thorwald in his like accent, and just like so great, like the way he says it. Damn. I can't even do it. But,
Sydney Sweeney uses printers though.
It's a good kind of modern twist on like
getting a fax machine.
Or it's a printer.
It's a fax machine.
Pretty sure it's a printer.
Well, I mean, it's that. But how do you get faxes?
Yeah, but
it's a fax. It's a
fax.
She's sending them a fax. That's what it is.
Yes, but it's using a printer. It's a house printer. Though. They don't have a fax machine in their house.
Bro, it's 2021.
Apparently they do.
I guess like fax machines existed like before printers.
They did, I think. Maybe.
But it is like 2021.
Either way, it's a good twist on this version on this part. I'll give him that. And then this is also where he even Jimmy Stewart admits, because like you said, he sends them. They're the ones actually doing the work. He just has to stand and watch, you know.
Yeah.
And he even talks about it. It's like you're the one taking all the chances. But then that's the problem though, right? Because like she goes off script, you could say, or she decides to go into the apartment.
She's thrilled by it.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. But this is the idea of like us as a spectator, we don't have control. You know, we want everything to do like exactly. What they're supposed to do, and then all of a sudden she goes off script, and now that creates tension for us, you know. But then this is like this phone call is just so great in terms of this idea of like the spectator losing control. This phone call just like basically sums up it all. Like he basically doesn't even know what to say. He's like having to predict what's about to happen because he can see it, but he can't do anything. You know, the same way we as view like this. The idea of suspense Hitchcock says, where it's like we know as a viewer something before the person on screen knows what's going to happen. That's suspense. Yeah. So when he's like describing to the cop, like before what's going to happen to her, but he knows it's going to happen because he's like watching it happen. Yeah, it's just so great. He's like, there's a girl being attacked, but it's like hasn't happened yet. You know?
Well, and the only reason that they weren't able to warn her is because they got caught up in Miss Lonely Heart almost committing suicide.
No, yeah, that's also true. Like they got caught up in another movie almost. Yeah. You could say.
Because that's literally the only reason they miss Lars coming back.
No, that's so
Thorwald.
Yeah.
Lars Thorwald, what a fucking name.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
Especially in Jimmy Stewart's accent when he says it. There are like certain words when he says, like when he draws them out, you know?
Yeah.
But no, because this is a big moment. Because they see Miss Lonely Heart, she's almost committing suicide, and then she hears the music, which makes her stop. And then Grace Kelly also hears the music, which makes her stop what she's doing. And then we get a great shot of the guy playing the piano, obviously, before we see Lars walking back in. So, and then you're like, oh my god, the movie.
In Hitchcock, I mentioned in that article I've been mentioning, he talks about how the rhythm of the movie is really important. This idea of like basically this slow kind of build up, and then at the very end you get all this stuff happening at once.
Yeah.
And that's like a perfect example of this one. And the reason I bring that up is because it reminds me a lot of we're going to talk about Johnny To starting next week, and he does this with a lot of his movies of like. They feel like they're very slow, kind of like world building, and then all of a sudden at the very end of the movie, like when you think the movie's gonna be over, like all of a sudden this like stuff just starts happening, you know.
And we'll be talking about that next week for sure.
He does that a lot, but it's like it's the same kind of idea. But then he finally gets some like basically there's a lot of tension in this scene, like. That's what I'm saying. All this tension builds up is from the whole movie, the slowness, and all of a sudden it's like everything's happening at once, and it's added on the fact of we're identifying with the guy that's in a wheelchair that can't do anything, you know. But then at the end of the day,
we're watching Grace Kelly get assaulted.
Exactly.
It's like, oh my god.
But then when the police comes, he finally relaxes because it's like he can finally, you know, the guy's not gonna at least kill Grace Kelly with the police right there.
Well, and he's not worried about Grace Kelly at all because he's like, she's a smart girl, she'll know what to do. So
we get the shot of but then as he's like as everyone's getting arrested and stuff, because she's the one basically getting arrested for breaking in.
Yeah.
Like technically Lars Thorwald hasn't anything, but we get the shot of her pointing at the wedding ring.
Yeah, the wedding ring behind the back.
Behind the back, and then Lars Thorwald notices. And that's what's going to create this like.
And he looks over and sees Jimmy looking at him.
Where she's looking, like basically the basically the gates the whole. This is actually another kind of similar to the Voyeurs too, in terms of the idea of like now it's reversed, like the guy.
This one's done way better.
Yeah, I mean I never said that.
This when the movie becomes like a horror movie, basically.
Yes.
Bro, the look that he gives him through the lens is awesome. Like,
yeah. Also, the idea of like like a photographer, like his greatest power is like using a flashbulb on his camera instead of a gun, you know. No, but all this is great too. Like the way Lars Thorwald enters. This is also another thing Hitchcock pointed out in his article. There's basically no music in this movie.
Besides the piano, yeah.
Besides the piano, and then I think there's something at the beginning of the movie too. Some kind of music he says plays, but.
Well, isn't someone like turning? It's the dancer girl turning on the music, right?
At the beginning.
Isn't it like something like someone turns on some like jukebox?
I mean, there's definitely a record
some
player
radio
or jukebox or something. Yeah.
No, but I love the way he's sitting in the darkness too. Like his face is still
completely hidden shadows.
Yeah,
both of their faces are hidden shadows.
While he's approaching too.
You get like the CGI every time when he's like wiping his eyes and like the red circle and shit. It's
Well, I kind of just love the shadows being over his face because it's just like that's something you see from a cool character most of the time, but I feel like you're allowed to read it however you want because Jimmy Stewart was freaking out whenever he realized Lars was coming over. So like in my mind, he's just not speaking to him because he's like scared out of his mind. He's like, oh my god, what am I about to do?
That's exactly.
But to Lars, he's like this guy's like being super cool or something. Like, oh my god, why is he not answering me? Like, what power does he hold?
Until he pushes him out.
Well, until he realizes all he has is flashbulbs.
Flashbulbs and a wheelchair.
And a wheelchair.
And we get another. Hitchcock has to make Jimmy Stewart fall out of something again.
Yeah. Like damn, yeah. I guess that is it's like it kind of honestly like very similar. Like the way he's like it's like Dangle from like
just not like yeah.
The CGI.
It's like trying to make him look as pathetic as possible, more than like realistic. It's just like the way his body is like.
The green screen fall is always hilarious.
Yeah,
it's a bit more cruel in this movie compared to Vertigo because he like is like disabled.
Yeah,
but yeah.
It's a funny joke though. At least to a hilarious joke, I guess. But
then we get all like the conclusions.
Yeah.
Our short king comes back from the army.
Yes.
Well, I was gonna say the conclusion of like the funniest joke is he's got two casts on now.
Oh yeah, that's
because he broke his other leg falling out the window.
That's what I'm saying. This is a happy
ending. Yeah.
Not only like literally like he ends up with 2 broken legs instead of 1, but like did he learn the lesson he was supposed to? Or like I mean not in that way in terms of like if he's saying the voyeurism is bad, basically he's ended up the movie solving murder, so he's probably going to take away the wrong lessons. You know what I mean? And then let alone the whole like marriage idea, like that never gets resolved, and it ends with basically like, her line in terms of like she's reading this like magazine about like hiking. I forgot what it is, a mountain magazine or something.
Yeah.
And then right when he falls asleep, she changes the magazine to like a fashion magazine again. Like that's basically how the movie ends.
And he's very prominently making sure you see her left ring finger does not have a ring on it.
Okay, exactly.
Because it is like Luke said, the short king arrives back home, so we get that love story's completed. Miss Lonely Heart and the piano guy have their love story, or at least that's what
she says. I can't tell. Basically, she says the piano music he was playing saved her life from committing suicide.
Yeah, because I think that might start something with them too.
You never know.
And then we have the third one. The third one is the other married couple, where it's the guys. They're like you could say their marriage is like on the rocks, kind of, or it's out of the honeymoon phase, kind of.
Yeah, based on this, the one word we hear because we've seen multiple times where every time he raises the lines to like smoke a cig, she like yells something.
Yeah, she's like Harry or whatever.
And this time she says, "I can't tell." He says, "If you told me," you hear her say, "If you told me if you told me you were quitting your job, we wouldn't have gotten married." But it was like, damn, I'm quoting that, like, basically, like, that's not a good sign to end a movie.
And that's just back to Jimmy.
That's what I'm like, yeah, that's like, you could imply the same thing with these 2 characters, too.
And, like, yeah, they're not all happy endings, yeah.
Yeah. Well, basically, like, there's no kind of, basically, like, the same way as us as spectators, like, nothing actually happens to them, you know? Yeah. And that's the thing, if anything, they learned the wrong lessons as a viewer.
Yeah.
But, like, you would think, like, the right thing for them, if he's saying the voyeurism they do is bad, then the right thing would be like the investigator's right, you know, like you shouldn't be reading into these people's lives, you're just like doing too much, you know. But he almost gets rewarded for his voyeurism, you could say. But yeah, that's Rear Window. Should we just go right into the Voyeurs, or?
Sure, yeah.
Right.
I don't know if we're gonna go like super in depth.
Yeah, let's do it. Who's this director though? How did you even hear about this movie?
I feel like everyone, like, it was like I just remember hearing about it. And like I've seen some people log it before.
Yeah, I've seen some like people on Letterboxd that I follow give us some decent reviews. But
I mean, it's mainly though from what I've read, like the positive ones are like, yeah, this movie's stupid, but that's kind of why I like it.
At least it kind of swings.
No, No, there's some just absolutely wild, like. And so it's not like the viewing experience wasn't like bad or like terrible for me. Like it wasn't like obviously it wasn't like great or anything, but
well, this is the thing. There's a tension in this movie of like it wants to have
No.
the exciting like Rear Window kind of voyeuristic aspects, and I will admit there is some interesting stuff with that. But then also wants to have like the Sydney Sweeney like has to have her like a badass moment of the end of like defeating a villain or whatever.
Yeah. It's so
like that's the exact opposite of what I'm saying. Like Jimmy Stewart never has that moment in Rear Window. It's like what makes it perfect.
the whole fucking
you know?
twist thing though is just like so weird.
It's so
But there's a lot of twists, or there's like
like the one where it's like, oh, actually, like they own the apartment they had, and then
the entire art show. That's why I said like at the beginning, like this movie went on 30 minutes too long. If it would have ended with this dude committing suicide, I would have been fine with that, because at least the movie would have like a clear message of like looking in on other people's lives, actually getting involved in that, and like getting more involved in that than your actual life can lead to this. Like that would be an actual message.
I was honestly, I had this thought in my head. I was like, I know that they weren't going to do it, but like. If it just turned more into like a drama with her with the other guy at the end, you know, instead of like having to keep this kind of suspense. But I mean, it's still kind of interesting in terms of like how easily she gets roped in. But yeah, the end twist with the rope, because like, they spend so much time. Okay, maybe not so much time, but they spend a lot, at least some of the movie, like, explaining how they're going to do the setup, you know? I thought it was kind of clever with the kind of bouncing off the sound waves.
Oh, yeah. Like, they infiltrate with the Halloween party exactly. and shit. It's like, what
even though, I thought that was, like, at least they're like, giving us some exposition on, like, how they're doing this.
Yeah.
But then, like, if the reverse is, like, first of all, their building's underneath, right? So how are they getting these better views of, like, because remember, or actually they have...
I think they're higher, right?
Oh yeah, they have another room above or something. I don't know. Anyway, but like they have this whole room with even a better setup and stuff. We never see how they do it at all. You know.
Yeah.
Also, like these buildings are really far away.
Yeah.
Like think about how far away these buildings are. Like in the actual public. Like if you actually have to go across the street in like a big city like this. You know?
Yeah.
Like because like when they see the person choking, in like a different like high-rise building across the street. It's not like the Rear Window distance. Even that's kind of a big distance, you know, if someone's choking. But he's like, oh, go save her. It's quicker than calling the police or whatever. It's like, like how long is the guy going to take to go there?
Like, damn, you got to take a fucking...
Yeah.
It's a fucking run over there, damn. Fucking marathon.
But I don't know. I know Blake's, he didn't like it that much.
Yeah, I like stupid movies, I do. But... I feel like the stupid movies I like don't take themselves very seriously. I do think this movie takes itself very seriously in a lot of moments. Like especially after 30 minutes happens. Like everything after the 30 minutes, yes, it's insane, but it's also like taking itself way too seriously at that point. Because I'm just like, you didn't need all this extra shit. Like this is so extra to add on to this movie. That's already like this movie had no reason to be 2 hours long. That's a huge issue with me.
That's just symptom of the streaming era. Yeah.
It's definitely the streaming era. Another thing is like I kind of said earlier, like Rear Window. I do like the movies back in the day that where you had to do things with any window because just throwing eroticism on the screen, it can work sometimes. But this one, it's just like
that was another commercial tension I was talking about. Like that's like definitely how they were selling. Like don't worry, there'll be a lot of sex scenes.
Exactly.
Like it feels like those like. They don't feel like it's part of the organic part of maybe the first one, I'll give it credit.
Yeah.
Idea,
the other one's definitely not.
Where, like, yeah, they're, like, actually having sex while watching, like...
That's the second one, I think.
It's not the first one?
That's the second one.
What's the first one?
Second one, it's like the photographer and his, like, girlfriend.
Oh, what the one... Okay, yeah. Those, I'll consider them the same one, basically, while they're watching.
The same, like, what? Like
just basically their first experience.
The first experience of them watching, and then...
well, they watched... But they watched The Girl before. That was the second one they watched.
I'm considering it all the same. Like
okay, I see what you're saying.
Then after that, yeah, like...
It's just like, it's very gratuitous, and there were, especially when Sydney Sweeney was doing it, I was like, okay, this is definitely one of the reasons this movie was made primarily, was for this scene right here. Like, it was very obvious, but...
Which, I mean...
I don't know.
It probably was. That's probably why I got made.
Yeah.
But shit like that, I don't know. I like it. That's why I said it definitely might have had something like Danny said earlier, like the double feature syndrome problem or whatever it was called, whatever he called it. because I did watch Rear Window like the day before watching this.
You know what's crazy? Actually, now that you mention it, okay, you remember when we watched Rear Window in a theater?
Yeah.
You remember how you kind of were saying, oh, it had the double Late Samurai had the double feature problem. It was actually a triple feature. We watched Rear Window in. And do you remember the movie we watched afterwards?
Yeah.
And do you remember who was in that movie?
Wait, Sydney Sweeney's? Oh,
We watched Madam Web after.
Oh my god.
And Sydney Sweeney's in Madam Web. That's just a random thing I just thought of.
Connections.
Yeah. I don't know. We just think of Sydney Sweeney every time we watch Rear Window.
I mean, you were the one who wanted to watch that so bad. You're like, Sydney Sweeney's in this new Marvel movie. We have to watch it, guys. Like, alright.
Because yeah, we saw it. I was like, that's funny. And
No, you were excited to watch it because
and you liked it.
Honestly, it's a fun movie.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's a fun movie. I can't lie.
Stay tuned for the Madam Web.
No, but I will say like the director clearly outside of the commercial interest on like there and maybe even some of the kind of story plot interests, the director clearly knows what he's doing. There's some interesting stuff too, like even just visually.
I mean, there's
like,
a lot of match cuts.
That first cut
John
to the egg
Gilman's-
too is really good.
That one is very good. The last cut to the egg is also
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good
no, he
though
does-
too, with
he uses that
the
egg.
eye frying, and then it
Yeah.
just goes to the egg being cooked.
And like some of these shots of like when they're like staring at each other with their
Yeah.
eyes and stuff, like damn, this is actually really
And like just honestly, just the
it's a
shots of
great
like
looking-
through the binoculars and stuff.
yeah, like a lot of
Cool.
but the last shot is so bad. The green screen fucking Sydney Sweeney.
Oh.
It's so ugly. It's like, why is this?
Bro,
Like, that's what I'm saying.
everything-
There's like movies like, is this director have like? It feels like the director didn't even like. There's no way he was okay with some of these shots. Like,
I mean, yeah. I
from
mean,
the story
it's.
points.
I think it's Amazon Prime.
It
Oh,
was.
was
It
it
was an
Yeah.
Amazon Studios movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at
So
the
this
very
didn't
beginning.
come
We can blame Jeff Bezos.
It didn't even come in theaters.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. No, that makes me like it even more than honestly. I mean, I'll give it a little bump.
It really like the last 30 minutes just like
Because that's
really
what
ruined
like
the
it,
enjoyment
that
I
makes
had, so.
these tensions of like. You can tell when an Amazon or a Netflix primarily like is making a streaming only movie that they know is not even gonna like touch theaters.
Yeah.
They have these interests of like, okay, let's crank up. If someone's clicking on this movie, they're most likely watching it because they're hoping some Sydney Sweeney sex scenes are in here. Like,
Yeah.
that's the number one reason they're gonna watch it. So we have to have at least 2 to 3 scenes of that, you know. So director, do what you can within those, but you gotta have those. And so like those scenes in there feel like really forced, outside the first one really. And the first one, like she's not even really sexy really, you know, she's compared to like the other ones. But there's also, it feels like there's really interesting filmmaking also going in between, you know, as well. Like it kept me on my toes. You know, I'll give it that. Like it's not boring. Like
No,
the information is actually like I didn't see the last twist coming. I was wondering like why this movie was still going on.
you don't see it coming
It's
to
crazy.
this fucking
It's
stupid.
crazy.
It's
That's
like
what
too
it is.
stupid.
It's
It's
so
like-
like,
yeah,
like,
it's like-
yeah,
it's
you-
like
that's-
they're blind now. She made them blind.
No, that not twist. I thought the twist you're talking about was them killing her husband or whatever,
That-
her
yes,
boyfriend.
yes,
because
yes,
like I'm just
yes.
like, what?
Yes.
Where did we
Yes,
get
that
that?
one
Where
was
we?
insane.
Where did this
That
come
was
from?
insane.
Like
Them also like
Because I would have bought him just committing suicide.
I would have bought that too.
Even though, actually, in my notes, I really didn't buy it too. Because, like,
Yeah.
first of all, it didn't make sense why he came back.
no.
And then I was like, and then second of all, if they did kill him, how did they know he was going to drink that drink? There's no way he
that's,
could have known.
that's why that twist is stupid because there's no way you could see like it's
And it's like kind of unnecessary.
every
It's
he's
twist
getting
that
so
happens.
bad right now.
Every twist that happens after
It's
the
an
30-minute
overkill
mark is
twist.
so stupid.
It's,
Like
it's an overkill twist for sure. It's like, yeah, they're like piling on the twist. Like, just trust like your original twist. Like that idea of her getting with the guy.
yeah, that's good
After
enough.
the suicide,
That's
like,
good enough.
That's like a really dramatic, like, and
That's
like
a
you
good
could say
twist.
it's like parallels to cinema too, like someone
Yes,
choosing
oh,
the fiction
definitely.
over
That's some like De
reality.
Palma shit. I feel
Yeah,
like,
yeah, but it's like, why do you have like 4 more twists on top of that? It's like her going to this thing, it has to be another
Bro,
like dramatic thing, and then like
I literally thought the movie was over after we saw him hanging there. Like
No,
I thought
I-
the movie was going to end after that, and I was like, okay, that was not bad.
No, 'cause
Then
I
it
knew
went
that-
on for 30 more minutes.
no, because I knew the time. I was like, it's like 2 hours 10 or whatever it is. So.
I didn't
Or it's
check
like,
the time. Well,
1:55. So I knew that because I was like, because I knew there was like 30 minutes left, and I'm like.
I had checked
I was like,
the
are they
time
really
until
just gonna
that
make this like
moment.
some drama about like her dating this guy now, or like dealing with the, I was like, damn, that's,
I mean,
that's
at
gonna be
least they-
crazy. But
yeah.
then it's like, of course, like they have to make it like super dramatic after that, you know.
Yeah. See, Sweeney gets on her spy shit, you know.
Yeah. But I will say, like, it's like for a streaming movie too. It's a good-looking movie.
No, yeah,
it's not like
doesn't look
normal
terrible.
Netflix slop. Like
No, it doesn't.
some
look
of like the stuff in the Eye Doctor doesn't look like real Eye Doctor. Like it's like some of that.
There's
stuff,
some like
but-
neon lights and stuff too.
Yeah,
like the
but
streets.
okay. Compared to like the Gray Man or something, like it's way better.
Okay, yeah. I mean, obviously,
you know
yeah.
what I mean. Like it's not normal streaming slop.
Yeah, it's not Russo Brothers, you know, like
Yeah.
in the dumps.
And then also like it's not. It doesn't feel like a Rear Window. Like, yeah, I'm hating on a lot of the plot stuff after, but it doesn't feel like a Rear Window ripoff. I'll give it the homage. I'll give it the homage label instead of just ripoff.
Okay, yeah.
Because actually, I forgot what the movie was called. Apparently, there was a Spielberg produced movie called. Have you watched Disturbia?
I've still not seen Disturbia, but I know about it.
Apparently, they got because Spielberg produced it, but like his production company got sued by the people that own like the Hitchcock estate or something about basically being a straight rip off of Rear Window. I don't even know what happened with that lawsuit. But
Spielberg probably had to pay out.
But I was like, oh, that would have been a good pick too, because apparently that was like even though that was a criticism at the time, it was like basically a straight rip off of Rear Window. Because like I was like, this movie is like it's because my original hope was like we would do a really bad movie to compare to Rear Window. I was like, oh, it's actually like it's good enough to be like not a bad movie, you know,
okay.
Like to be judged on its own merits.
Would you watch it again?
No,
I mean,
I would not.
Yeah, if I could like take out the first 30 minutes or the last 30 minutes, maybe.
I would watch it again. Make it into a
I'd watch it again. It's yeah, especially if I could forget some of this. Like in 10, 15 years, if I forgot a lot of stuff that happened.
I've already forgotten everything. No, I'm just kidding.
If I got amnesia,
it is very twist heavy. Like it's like twist dependent and like plot dependent and narrative dependent and stuff. Versus like the Hitchcock movie, which is a lot more like.
Well, because there's not even a reason for me to go back and watch it to see if I can notice anything about them watching them, because I don't care really that much.
And I was saying the same thing. Like every shot is like plot motivated and narrative motivated. Even like the shots we don't think versus like the Hitchcock movie where everything feels a lot more like open, you know, and expansive.
Yeah, because like all these like in the art display or the art gallery, I guess it's just at their apartment, whatever you call that. What is that? I know that he's not in an actual art gallery displaying all his art at the very end.
That is an actual art gallery.
I thought it was just at their apartments.
No, okay. She goes to like a different place. Okay. Yeah, he's like, I'm doing my first. It's not his first. He's like, I'm doing an exhibition or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, because just like even having just like I don't know.
No, but see that idea would have been way more interesting without this huge twist, because like. Because she goes and dates this guy, you know, or she goes and has sex with him. Comes back. If you do find your boyfriend commits suicide because he just watched, which is a crazy twist, you know, it's really cruel. She's like, okay, I'm not going to see this guy, and then she decides to go 6 weeks later to the show. You know, that could still be interesting, but of course it has to make it all this dramatic stuff. Like, it was like a double twist. Yeah, it's just like a lot of cruelty, I guess. But then, like, to me, like, this is where the most forced part is the ending. Is, like, the Sydney Sweeney has to have her kind of moment.
Her revenge moment.
What does she even say? Like, the quote is so bad, where it's like...
remember my face, because this will be the last
time
you see or something like that. That's what she says.
Did you write that yourself? I mean, but like it's so bad. Even when you're watching, it's like this doesn't even fit in the movie. Like this was like it wouldn't fit if Jimmy Stewart was all of a sudden like walking like without his cast at the very end. You know, because like with the power of love, I'm gonna like go save
the power of love.
It's like it doesn't fit the movie.
Yeah.
But of course, this one is like she probably felt like it has to like I can't just be an object in the movie. I have to like have my moment too.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm. It probably wasn't her. Maybe it was like that writer.
No, it was definitely some
blaming
like
her,
exec or something. Yeah,
but it just feels so forced.
It's just the entire.
And then,
it doesn't make any sense. So
well, then they're trying to make the movie also about this idea of like because like I kind of like the thing of them not feeling any guilt about the boyfriend.
Well, the guy feels guilt. The girl doesn't feel guilt.
Yeah. Even though it's fun, it would be better if they didn't actually kill him. Like if he did commit suicide.
It would have been better that way, yes.
Instead of them actually killing him. But, yeah.
Well, and even then, I guess you could say it's just the girl that killed him, because I guess like it's implied that the guy didn't do anything like that. I don't know. Maybe not though, because he is the one that says, "Don't you feel any guilt?" But to his girlfriend. It's just like
there's a more interesting movie in there. Like if we actually saw their side perspective of them, like manipulate how they're doing the manipulating on the other side too.
That's what I think. It would be somewhat interesting to see that, because like at the art gallery, he's displaying everything, like all the pictures that they took of them, and I'm like, exactly. You guys didn't see them doing this,
and also the idea of like
it's literally actually them looking in at you. Like
he's also literally having sex with these women too. So like
literally, yes.
Does she actually not care about that part? Like
apparently his girlfriend does not. But it's like this movie had such a clear message, I guess, to end on, or like a reason to be made after the guy committed suicide.
Yeah.
And then after it keeps on going on, it just adds more things in. Like,
but it's almost like a different theme with this idea of like the social media, where they're like, we created our own.
Exactly.
Quote she says is, we created our own narrative and made it available for them to watch. We gave them front row seats, and they did. They tuned right in. All we had to do was watch back. Like that is almost like a different movie. Of like,
yes, exactly. Like it brings up all these different things because it brings that up. It brings up the terms and agreement thing of like you agreed to this whenever you signed this shit. Like it brings up all these stupid ass ideas.
Messages,
like just like my dude, don't do this.
It's not only like because that's what Hitchcock loved. He's like where I was like saying all this stuff was introduced visually. The ideas versus this one's like she's literally just telling you like what the ideas are right in the movie at the end. You know,
like we own that flats and they signed this.
But then even then like the idea of the movie ending right there would actually make more hit in terms of it should have a negative ending. You know, it should make you feel a little disgusted. Versus this one. It's like, of course, no, but we have to have this whole, like, okay, no, we're going to get her whole, like...
This whole, like, the
voyeurs... Her whole plot of, like, she's going to, like, just poison them and she's going to get away with it.
Well, this whole thing of, like, the voyeurs aren't... Exactly, how does she get away with it, too? Like,
it's like,
well, technically, they're still alive.
Because, like, I remember this, the first time she meets this guy, and the guy gives her, he says, oh, here's some, Scasari wine for you. I remember putting my notes, like... Scasari wine. Like I didn't know how it was gonna come up. The fact that he said that, like, oh, here's some Scasari wine, like you know that's gonna come up somehow. Right? So the fact that when he's like later, like he literally says it to she's like, what do you want to drink? Like when he's with his girlfriend at the end, he's like, what do you want to drink? She's like, oh, some Scasari wine or whatever. Like, oh shit, but you know.
Oh shit.
She knows. She knows what he likes. Because I think they say like the wine's from like the Tate Modern or like some museum, so like they're all excited to drink it. That's how they get them to drink the wine. But I mean, we've kind of talked about all the movie already.
Yeah, I mean, it's
we maybe talked about the beginning because I do actually like the beginning the best. This, even though like it has the typical like exposition overload of like, oh, these are this happy couple, we love them, you know, and they're like in love. And moving into a new place.
They're not gonna have kids,
and they're gonna eat a pizza on the floor in the first. Like,
it's like the most like beautiful like furnished like NYC apartment basically like.
This is where I'm like that's why I call it the Bresson rule in my head, where it's like how many of these shots could you take out and we would still get the message of like what this intro is doing, you know? Like you could show one shot of them walking in, one shot of them like on the ground, and then like we could cut to like literally like the actual narrative of the movie, you know, and be like, oh, we got it.
Yeah.
But it spends a lot of time with them like falling in love and stuff. Or I guess they're already in love, but
them falling in love with the couple, I guess.
No, you mean the couple across the street?
Yeah.
That stuff I like. I mean, of them just like literally get introduced.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But yeah, even then, it does spend a lot of time on that one, that stuff too. It does emphasize how big these windows are too. It's less like the rear window. It reminds me of like the Playtime windows.
Honestly, yeah.
You know,
it's a more big city feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Rear Window is also
a
big city, technically, probably.
Yeah, it is. Also, this movie actually leaves the complex.
Oh, definitely.
It does. She goes to the eye doctor and stuff. Versus Rear Window never really leaves the area.
Well, see, that's one of the things that I said. If it ended at 30 minutes, it would actually have a good, decent message because it's like you're taking things that you're like looking at on someone else's lives, trying to change that, and you're losing what's actually real, basically, which is your actual life. I don't know, because I didn't mind them leaving the apartments.
No, it's not bad. I'm just saying that. I just noticed the difference. Also, we get the. I also like the kind of the Rear Window. Like, I like the idea of like using if you are inspired by a movie, like the climax of that movie. Which I was saying the most tense moment is when he's on the phone with the police. Yeah. And he's trying to like say something before it happens. I like how it basically gets that out of the way at the beginning of this movie. Where they're like about to call the cops when they're basically the end of that movie is like the beginning of this movie. It's like okay, that big twist, like that's the beginning of this one, you know. I kinda like that too. Okay. Because it's like that's just like almost the first like little thing. Like, oh, what are they gonna do when they're watching these people choke across the street, you know? Of course they don't know they're being set up the whole time, but
That might be the most in-depth anyone's ever talked about this movie.
I don't know.
I don't think.
I mean, we didn't even get that in depth.
Even then, like, I don't know.
Also, this party, the costume party he has is like way too many people. I feel like
Yeah, it's kind of
how many people is it? That I can see why Blake was like he thought the actual event was there too.
Yeah, no, that's one reason I thought it was there. Because it looked very similar too. So
also, this is like the boy. This is another thing I remember. Like the boyfriend leaving. Like basically when he's like gets mad at her for causing the suicide, he thinks it's a suicide, you know, and he leaves. It's like first of all, this guy. It feels like he's way overreacting. You know?
Definitely.
But then it never explains why he comes back to like that one day. You know, it's like they're broken up and everything, and he decides to come back that one night.
The fateful night.
Yeah, the fateful night. No, yeah, that's pretty much all I had. Yeah, there's some great match cuts. Okay, how do you feel about Sydney Sweeney though? I felt like she's like pretty far probably the worst actress in this. Because the reason I say this, I like the guy. I thought he was actually really good. His name is Ben Hardy.
She's better in
He was like the
which guy?
Ben Hardy, the
guy across the street.
I think she's better in like a more comedic role. You know, like in Anyone But You.
Okay.
Like because like her she's
like the dramatic delivery in this is like just
she's very dry.
Like I'm not buying.
She's a very dry actress. Like her acting is very dry. I feel like, which is not bad so to speak. It's just like you're less versatile.
Well, I think she's more of this like naturalistic style.
Yeah,
like,
natural. Yeah. And I think so if
it's
it's better, like if it's
even
better,
with stylization, it's like
if it's better, like a more dry or like when you're using that more as like for humor, I feel like it works better for with her, I guess.
Like that Eyes Wide Shut scene where I actually kind of like that. This is another scene I kind of like too, where like he's wearing the mask and he's like basically moving her body around, and like the boyfriend's there, just like what the fuck is going on right here? But like he feels way more in the movie than she does. Like when it comes to her, I'm like it doesn't feel like she should be in this movie, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. But the guy from the Pikachu movie is also not bad. That's all I remember. He's also in.
I have seen that movie.
I think he's in like a Godzilla movie too. He's
in Dungeons and Dragons, Jurassic World.
Oh, I do recognize him in Dungeons and Dragons.
What a filmography, bro!
I saw the TV Glow.
This is a wild filmography.
Paper Towns. Now You See Me.
Oh, the third one.
Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Wait, this hasn't come out yet.
Are
we releasing on podcast? That's this year.
It's releasing in November. Apparently,
I
knew it was coming out.
Let's go.
I didn't know if it had come out yet or not.
We doing the trilogy?
Damn, we might have to. Damn.
I mean, I know we have two fans on this podcast.
I like the first one. The second one I remember not liking.
Bro, what about the card throwing scene though?
Nah, yeah, damn. See, not a real knower. But
we'll come to that a different week.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
That's the Voyeurs. Yeah, we kind of went all over the place on that, but
yeah, that's
honestly I liked it more than I was expecting. I'll give it that.
Yeah,
and I was impressed.
It did some things I wasn't expecting.
Yes.
It took all the wrong turns, but it's okay. It's a movie.
Yeah, that's Rear Window and the Voyeurs. Next week we are doing.
Oh yeah, next week we are starting my new series, or our next series, which is mine, Johnny Toe. We're gonna be starting with two of his. I mean, these ones definitely fit together. It's basically just one talking about brotherhood in the Yakuza and kind of how it's fake, and then one's talking about brotherhood in the with the cops. It's PTU and elections, so it'll be a fun week. So
yes. All right. Until next week. Hope to see you floating through the clouds.